Alrighty, yo, what is going on, everybody? It's your boy, Mr. DDG94 here, back with another reaction video. Yeah, I had a brain freeze there for a moment. Shut up. Anyways, we're gonna get to this video right here. This is Buffalo Wild Wings. The rise and fall and rise again of Buffalo Wild Wings. When did Buffalo Wild Wings fall off? They always been on point. What's going on with Buffalo Wild Wings? Without further ado, check it out though. Yeah.
Buffalo Wild Wings. How could you not like that logo? It is literally a buffalo with wings. I know, it's an obvious joke, but it works. Of course, buffaloes don't have wings. The food is thought to have been originated at this restaurant called Anchor Bar in Buffalo, New York. The actual stories vary, but the name comes from the town, not the animal. And today, more than 50 years later, one of the largest sellers of buffalo wings is, in fact, Buffalo Wild Wings. They have over 1,200 locations all across the United States. They were pretty much the first to implement the wing-based restaurant concept in a major way, and still today remain bigger than any of the others that do it.
Even bigger than Wingstop?
If you haven't been there, you've probably heard their slogan, Wings, Beer, Sports, which I think is a great description. It's practically your typical sports bar with TVs all over.
Ironically, this was my first job. Believe it or not, y'all, Buffalo Wild Wings was my first job. I don't like to talk about it though. I'll talk about it at the end, but I don't want to talk about it. It's too much to get into, bro. But I'll tell y'all at the end, bro.
The place, but they are family friendly as well, and they have had an eventful history. I'm going to be talking about things that you wouldn't have even imagined. I'll be highlighting 2 significant rises and falls that they've experienced with a potential third rise. But before I get to all of that, I have to take a minute to talk about Jim Disbrow, because I don't think you will ever hear another story quite like his. When he was a young kid in the 1950s, he suffered from polio, and as a way to strengthen his legs, he started ice skating. It quickly became more than a hobby, to where when he was 11 years old, he moved in with his figure skating coaches, who happened to be a married couple with a younger son named Scott Lowery, so Jim pretty much became a member of that family. Soon after, he won the silver medal in the junior men's division of the U.S. Figure Skating Championships. 2 years later, was an alternate for the U.S. Olympic team, and after his competitive career, he spent 2 years touring with a famous skating show called Holiday on Ice.
Okay,
I know,
that's
it seems
what's up.
like I'm way off topic, but trust me, it's about to come together. In the 1970s, he moved to Buffalo, New York, where he was a frequent customer of Anchor Bar. That is when he became a huge fan of the buffalo wings that they had originated, as well as the other local foods of the area. Then, in the early 1980s, he was in Columbus, Ohio with his good friend and practically brother, Scott Lowery. They were looking for a place where they can go and eat some of those tasty buffalo wings, but were surprised to learn that they couldn't find a single place in the area that served them. At first, they were upset about it, but they saw an opportunity. The following year, they opened their own restaurant in Columbus, Ohio, strategically placed near Ohio State University, called Buffalo Wild Wings and Weck. I'll admit, I've never heard of Weck until just now, but it turns out it's this German roll with seeds on it, where in Buffalo, New York, they use it as a bun to make roast beef sandwiches. Sort of another local favorite. So really, all they did here was take some of the foods that they liked that weren't available in the area and made them available in the area. Much like that logo, the idea was obvious, but it worked. The name was a little long though, so the customers started calling it BW3 and the company embraced it. Early on, they advertised their extensive variety of 12 different wing sauces and 50 different beers. They also wanted to keep affordable prices, and that was made possible by various cost-cutting measures, such as using paper plates so they wouldn't have to hire somebody to wash them. So given their unique menu, variety, affordable prices, and strategic location, Buffalo Wild Wings and Weck was a big success. By the early 90s, they were able to open 6 more locations around the area, and that is when they started franchising. If you were able to give them $20,000, a percentage of your sales, and promise to use their signature wing sauces, there was a good chance that you'd be approved to open your own location. Obviously, with this new model in place, they were able to start opening locations faster than ever, and that is where things started to go bad. And I think the biggest reason for this first fall, to put it simple, is that Jim Disbrow got a little in over his head. I wanted to talk about his figure skating career because it really seemed like that was his bigger talent, and probably what he cared about the most. I mean, despite being co-founder, president, and CEO of a rapidly growing restaurant franchise, he was still heavily involved in the sport. Just to help show the extent, in 1994, there was this famous incident involving skaters Nancy Kerrigan and Tonya Harding. I don't want to get too far into that. You can watch the movie I, Tonya if you want to hear more about it, but he was in the news along with it because he was the chairman of the committee that had part in determining whether or not Tonya Harding would be able to compete in the Olympics that were about a month away. And then beyond that, for the next Olympics, he was the team manager of the U.S. figure skating team before becoming the president of the U.S. Figure Skating Association. Then, tragically, it was diagnosed with brain cancer that ultimately killed him 4.5 years later at the age of 54. But going back to 1994, I don't know if he was preoccupied with Tonya Harding and his responsibilities over there, or if he simply didn't know how to run a company like this, but Buffalo Wild Wings was not being managed very well. I have to imagine that the franchisee selection was questionable. They didn't have a consistent brand, different locations had slightly different names, but maybe worst of all was that they didn't even keep up with their basic accounting. You may have noticed that I've yet to provide any sales figures or anything else, and that is because no one knows what they were. Jim Disbrow himself couldn't have told you much about it because they weren't keeping accurate track of anything, which is essential for creditors and the government. They couldn't even figure out how much they owed in taxes, and it was looking like that might have been the end of things. Thankfully, Jim Disbrow realized that he needed help, so he brought in Sally Smith. She had been the chief financial officer of a hearing aid company in Minneapolis for more than a decade, and she was hired as their new CFO to help clean up their finances. In fact, they relocated their headquarters to Minneapolis around this time, partially to help convince Sally Smith to accept the position. In her first year there, she was able to calculate that the company had lost $1.6 million over that time. Since Jimmy Disbrow may not have been the best CEO, he then chose to step down and allow Sally to take over that position, and it was under her control that Buffalo Wild Wings was able to grow into a nationally recognized brand. In 1998, they adopted the name Buffalo Wild Wings for all of their locations, and the consistency in the name allowed for a national advertising campaign a few years later. In 2003, they became a public company for the first time, allowing them to pay off a lot of their debt and open more locations. I mean, you can see how fast they were growing over this time. Less than 100 locations when she took over to over 1,200 exactly 20 years later. And by the way, over this time, every single year was more profitable than the one before it. But then, more trouble, and thankfully they were keeping track of their finances here, so I do have some numbers to show it. In the 9-month period ending September 2017, they had earned significantly less money than that same 9-month period the year before, which was mostly due to higher costs, but their sales were suffering too. They reported negative same-store sales when compared to the same quarters from the year before. As for the higher costs, the biggest contributor there would be the price that they had to pay for chicken wings. I don't know exactly how it all works, but the demand for wings had been growing, and the chickens weren't hatching like they were supposed to, I guess, so it caused a shortage and the prices went up. In 2016, they were paying $1.72 a pound, and then all of a sudden, the following year, it went up to $2.16 a pound. As for the lower sales, Sally Smith theorized that a big part of it was the fact that their younger target customers were becoming more likely to eat at home rather than at a restaurant.
Duh.
Which makes sense. It's been an issue within the industry. Buffalo Wild Wings certainly hasn't been the only restaurant struggling. Another reason there could be the competition. The entire idea behind the restaurant stemmed from the fact that no one else was serving wings, and they were among the first of their kind in many areas across the country. But now many others have followed their lead, providing more options for the customers. I'm just saying, as time goes by, it seems that there's more and more places to find chicken wings. Another issue could be sports viewership. Many of those numbers have been down, especially with the NFL, which can mean bad things for a sports bar. Even if someone does want to watch the sports games, the sports packages and 4K TVs make them much easier to watch at home than ever before.
Facts.
And on top of all of this, to potentially make things even worse, there was a big proxy fight happening behind the scenes at Buffalo Wild Wings. This guy, Mick McGuire, and his firm had become a big investor in the company, but he didn't approve of the way that Sally Smith was responding to the troubles. He felt that the answer was to sell their company-owned locations to free up capital and become more heavily franchised. It wasn't happening like he wanted, so he called for her to be removed from her position, which after some shareholder votes, she said that she would step down. If nothing else, this conflict was distracting and the opposing viewpoints made it hard to make any major changes. Then, in late 2017, Arby's agreed to buy Buffalo Wild Wings for $2.9 billion.
But where's Arby's getting all this money from?
Still strong, and they'd be able to create some efficiencies between the two chains. Actually, Arby's had recently made their own comeback, so I'm guessing there was some confidence in that they'd be able to repeat something similar. They renamed the combined company Inspire Brands, who went on to acquire some other notable restaurant chains, and this is where the potential rise again comes in, but honestly, it's hard to say. Inspire Brands is a private company, so none of the figures have been available to the public following this acquisition, but if I had to take a guess, I would say that there probably has been some improvement, because they have addressed some of their issues. For one, just the fact of becoming a private company could have been really helpful. They no longer had all the stock market investors demanding these short-term returns. They now had time to implement a long-term, well-thought-out plan. They have also learned that it's not ideal to be so reliant on one product, like chicken wings, where the prices could fluctuate so much. So they have made efforts to expand their menu beyond them. Even before the acquisition, they changed their promotions to try to push the customers toward the boneless wings because they're actually made from the chicken breast. Wingstop started doing the same thing, not to mention all of these other new menu items like the All-American Cheeseburger. They have also tried to address the fact that more people prefer to eat at home by emphasizing their to-go menu and even going as far as starting B-Dubs Express. It's a quicker, smaller location meant for takeout orders, though it hasn't become too significant to their business. Let me know in the comments, do you think that they've been making a comeback, or are things continuing to go downhill? And for the bigger picture, what do you think of them in general? I mean, as a potential customer, how do they compare to Wingstop or one of the others? And finally, what do you think of Jim Disbrow? Was I right in saying that his story is unlike anything you've heard before? And any other thoughts about Buffalo?
I'm gonna go on to say this. Buffalo Wild Wings, they legit when it comes to the chicken wings. That's all I'm gonna say. But anyway, so to get into my story about my experience working at Buffalo Wild Wings, it didn't last long. It only lasted like 3 weeks. Let me explain to you what the fuck happened. So I got set up, and this led me to not want to work another motherfucking job for like a couple of months. Because I was working there with a girl that I knew from back in the day. So, and we was trying to rekindle something that we had going. So we was trying to just work with each other. And that was cool, you know what I'm saying? It was cool, you know what I'm saying? Me and her, you know what I'm saying? And then I got set up because I was moving too fast. I came into this working, bro. I can't help the fact that I look so good, bro. I can't help the fact that I look so good to women. I can't help it, bro. So understand, it's my first job. It's my first job, bro. I'm like 19. I'm like 19. This is around the time. This is like, I want to say, a couple of days. I want to say a couple of days after my birthday when I first turned 19. So this is like 2013. So I'm starting up college and shit like that. I'm starting to go to community college. You know what I'm saying? And then I got to come here and go to work and shit like that. So I'm thinking to myself, you know what I'm saying? So like I said, I got the old girl that I'm messing with. Then I got another girl. Then there was another girl in there that was fucking with me heavy. Like I said, I didn't see the other girl. She worked the night shift. I was there. I was a trainee. So trainees, you there during the daytime, and then they got to figure out your shit for you. So more than likely, I was gonna be a nighttime guy. But like I said, I got set up. I got set up because I can't help the fact that I got too many girls. So I had one girl, then I had this one girl that was fucking with me heavy. I couldn't help it, bro. She was fucking with me. And then there was another girl. There was another girl, but see, she was bad though. So I had to. She was bad. She was throwing herself at me. And then I had the other girl. She was throwing herself at me. Long story short, I got fucking set up. So this is after. So this is my first week off training. So you do like 2 weeks of training, and then they let you. Then they give you 2 days to go out there and let you be on your own. And then if you do good enough, they keep you. I did good enough. They was gonna keep me. So my first week on my own, I'm doing pretty good for myself. I'm like, all right, cool. Got a few little tips here and there. These bitches. Next thing I know, I got set up, bro. Bad too. It was like, yeah, cause you stepped into the office, and I didn't know. I didn't know. So let's think about it. In the 3 weeks that I was there, bro, I was only there for 3 weeks, y'all. 3 weeks. The first week, the girl that was messing with me heavy, we started doing something. I didn't know she had a man there. Let me repeat myself. I didn't know she already had a man working in there. To me, it seemed like she was single. She wanted to fuck. So I was like, what's good with it? So, you know what I'm saying? One thing led to another, you know what I'm saying? She dropping me off. I'm like, fuck dropping me off. I'm like, I'm trying to fuck some. So I'm like, fuck dropping me off because we got off at the same time. So I'm like, yo, fuck dropping me off. Go back to your place. What's popping? You trying to fuck with a nigga? What's popping? Let me see what they do. So you know what I'm saying? I go over there, you know what I'm saying? You know what I'm saying? I was in that bitch. You know what I'm saying? I was going to Pound Town. You know what I'm saying? You know what I'm saying? So I go to Pound Town on her. Now, I should have read the signs in her apartment that she had a man because I wasn't paying attention to a lot of shit. I peeped some shit, but I wasn't paying attention to it. I noticed some Nikes that was too big for her. I should have knew something right there. But I'm thinking, she might got a family member. And y'all understand, I was 19 at the time, y'all. I was 19. I was young and naive at the time. So I'm thinking like, I ain't thinking about it at the time, but I did see a pair of Nikes. Saw a pair of LeBrons. It was some LeBrons. It was a pair of LeBrons there that I didn't pay attention to, that I didn't think anything of. I just went over there because I'm just going over there to fuck. So I go over there to fuck. I dip. You know what I'm saying? She dropped me off back home or whatever. And then, you know what I'm saying? Then all of a sudden, she gets switched to the nighttime shift. So I don't see her like that no more. I don't really see her like that. I only see her like once. I only see her once out the week from there on out. So I'm like, cause I'm trying to fuck again. So I'm thinking me and Shorty gonna break something off. But now it's this other girl. And she was in the training with me. But she was bad though. And everybody was already trying to hit with her. When we was training, bro. I swear to God, bro, when we was training, we was in the back, niggas was trying to fuck with her, bro. It was all the Mexicans that be back there working and shit. They was trying to hit on her. A nigga that I knew from high school, bro. He was like, oh, you working here now too? Yeah, I'm working here now too. Yeah, bro, what's good, bro? I see you, bro. Yeah, bro. It's like, you know hers? I was like, nah, I gotta get that, bro. She bad, bro. I'm like, but then everybody flirting with her but me. I'm thinking because everybody want her. I'm like, don't get me wrong, she was bad too. She was bad, my nigga. She was bad. She was looking like Ice Spice, but she was kind of looking like Ice Spice. She had the curly fro and all that shit. Only thing was she didn't look like a ginger with it. Her fro was black. Yeah, her fro was black. But it was curly though. So she had like the little Ice Spice look going for her. She was little but had a big ass though. She had a nice little fatty on her. You know what I'm saying? Everybody flirting with her, everybody trying to get with her. She all friendly and shit to niggas, but she come up to me, she like, so what's good? I'm like, what you mean? She was like, what's good? I see you because you cute. I want you. All these niggas flirting with me, but I want you. I'm like, shit, what's happening? You know what I'm saying? So go on the bus. Come to find out, she don't even live that far from Buffalo Wild Wings. So we get on the bus. I ain't got no car around this time. So we hop on the bus. We go back to her place. She like 10 minutes away. Shit, on the bus, she like 10 minutes away. So I'm like, shit, say less. You know what I'm saying? She take me back to her crib. You know what I'm saying? Show me how she live. I hit that. Next thing you know, me and her flirting around with each other. And I'm not paying attention because old girl. Now I got three women. I'm caught up in a triangle. I got three women. I got one girl that I'm trying to rekindle something with from my past. I got one girl that I'm fucking with, and then I got another girl. And I'm not paying attention to all this. I'm just letting all this fly out. You know what I'm saying? I'm just on some player shit. Lo and behold, we get to the third week. I'm thinking everything going smooth or whatever. Next thing you know, they do me dirty, nigga. I didn't know that her man worked there. I didn't know it never seemed like they was together, bro. But apparently her man was there. And she told her man that I fucked. But she did it out of spite. Because I was messing with another girl, and then the other girl was like, "Oh, what's going on with you? Is he blah blah blah?" And it was like, "Yeah, we have something going." It was like, "Oh, well, did you know that he was doing something with such and such?" And it was like, "Yeah." Then they started talking to the other girls, and they talked to my friend. My friend like, "That's your friend. You referred him." And I was like, "Yeah, that's my friend and all that, but I didn't know he was gonna be doing all that. My bad. I didn't know." So they pulled me into the office. They like, "Yeah, we gotta let you go, dude." I was like, "What I do?" I was like, "What I do? I'm doing a good job and everything. What's going on?" It was like, "You're very unprofessional." How am I unprofessional? I don't get no complaints from the customers. What's going on? What did I do? Remember, this is my first job, so I don't know what the fuck I did wrong. It was like, dude, you can't just sleep with all your coworkers. You can't do that. You can't sleep with all your coworkers. I'm like, dog, what is you talking about? It's like you slept with two of your coworkers, and now you got this love triangle going on here. We don't even know who else you might potentially know. You have to go. We're a family here, bro. We're a family here. They set me up too, and then both of them came in. Both of them came in there. Both girls came in there, and it was like, because I was trying to deny it. I was trying to deny it. I was trying to do the best I could because I was trying to keep this job. It was like, yeah, no, you got to go. And then it was like, yep, that's right. You was with me that one night. And then she was like, oh, he was with you that one night? He was with me that one night. And then it was like, damn, they set me up like this? What the fuck? What the hell? Oh my God. They did me so dirty! I hate the bitches! Why? I hate the bitches to this day, man. But I don't give a fuck though, cause I smash, nigga. I smash, nigga. I don't give a fuck. So yeah, man, that's pretty all I gotta tell y'all, man. I smashed two chicks, man. I had all this shit going on. Then the girl that I was trying to rekindle with, we lost touch. We haven't talked since, bro. She was like, you was playing with me this whole time. You fucking with these other hoes and shit. I'm like, I thought you was really trying to rekindle something that we had in the past. Nah, it turns out you was just playing with me and shit. You just gonna leave me and all that shit. I was like, it is what it is, Chief. I apologize. Cause I fucked that up. Cause we've been childhood friends for a long time, and I fucked that up, bro. And I know I never get that. I know we'll never talk to each other again. Hopefully somewhere down the line we can talk to each other and squash that out. You know what I'm saying? But as because we childhood friends. That was my childhood friend, bro, for real. And I fucked that up, and I feel so bad for doing that to her. I do, because that's my childhood friend. I shouldn't have done that to her. Like I said, I was 19. I'm fresh out of high school and shit. You know what I'm saying? Like, nigga, like, man, I was mad, bro. I thought I was going to have me a job. I thought I was going to have me a JOBB. Turns out I should have been playing with that pussy. Because if I wasn't playing with that pussy, I probably would still have a job. But the thing is, the Buffalo Wild Wings is going to work out for me anyway. I'm not a people person anyway. So Buffalo Wild Wings wouldn't have worked out for me going forward anyway. But I was doing good, though, man. I was doing good. I was getting into it and shit. I was damn near about to just drop out of college and just go work at Buffalo Wild Wings because I really didn't want to do college. I was just like, fuck it, let me just get my own money so that way I could just start doing me. But nah, I fucked that up. And then I went on a drought, bro. I was doing tip service jobs for a minute, bro. Then after that, I fucked up the tip service job. That's another story for another day. I don't want to talk about it. Just know, fuck Buffalo Wild Wings. To them hoes I fuck, I still fuck. You know what I'm saying? To my childhood friend that I fucked that relationship up with, I apologize. Hopefully, somewhere down the line we can fix that. But other than that, though, man, we just gonna leave it right there for right now, man. Yeah, man, I let my dick get in the way. The moral of the story is don't let your dick get in. Don't let your dick get you into situations that you can't get out of. Don't let your dick put you in situations that you can't get out of, man. Don't do that, man. Don't put your dick in that, man. If they flirting with you, you know what I'm saying, it's cool, you know what I'm saying, but just try to keep it smooth, man. Make sure that they ain't in a relationship. Make sure that you know what I'm saying, you doing all the right you doing all the right things, you know what I'm saying, you playing your cards right, because if you gonna fuck around and find out. Basically, that's what I'm gonna tell you, is that you gonna fuck around and find out. So don't get it twisted, man. Just keep your head on a swivel, man, for real. Because you'll fuck around and find out. But anyways, I'm going to leave it right there for right now. Yeah, man. A lot of y'all been telling me to tell more story times. Listen, I can't really tell story times. They have to be triggered. Like me doing this Buffalo Wild Wings video, it triggered a memory. You know what I'm saying? Like, that's the only way I can go back to my past. Y'all don't understand, bro. I've done a lot of healing. Okay? I've done a lot of healing for myself. I did a lot of fucking healing to let go of a lot of things that have hurt me in the past. So, in order for me to get over the past, I had to stop thinking about the past. I can't just go back to my past and be giving y'all all these stories, bro. Something has to trigger in order to happen. Like, for instance, when I think of Denny's, I think of that time when I was with that girl. She had them 4 kids with her. And we went to Denny's, and I only had to pay like $40, bro. I was scared, bro. I was going to have to pay like $100 to $60, bro. And all I had on me was like $120, and I needed gas money. And I needed to buy groceries too. I never even bought groceries. I had paid all my bills and stuff, and all I had was $120 on me. I'm thinking like, but she said she wanted to fuck with me, so I said let's go fuck with each other. Then we go to the mall. I had $200, spent it on some shoes. You know what I'm saying? That was dumb of me. I spent it on some fucking shoes like a fucking idiot. But, you know what I'm saying? But I spent $40. So when I see Denny's, I think of that. But when I see Buffalo Wild Wings, it triggered a story that I was willing to tell y'all. So like I said, I'm willing to talk about my past, but something has to trigger it in order to happen. I can't just talk about it because I'm not thinking about the past. I've moved on from my past. Like a lot of shit I did in the past, I'm not, like I said, I'm ashamed of what I did at Buffalo Wild Wings because I heard a real true friend, but it brought back a painful memory that I was willing to share with y'all. But y'all have to understand, there's a lot of trauma with my past, bro. A lot of this shit is good. Some of this shit is good. A lot of it is bad. I had to do a lot of self healing, bro. I don't go to no therapist. I don't seek help. I just had to come to terms with a lot of this shit on my own, bro. I've been through a lot, bro. I've been homeless. You know what I'm saying? I done been homeless. I done been on my own. Nobody having my back. I lost my dad. The only person that really gave a fuck about me, or who I feel like gave a fuck about me in my personal opinion. I lost my dad. You know what I'm saying? Then I had to move away from where I was and come down here and try to restart life and try to refigure out things. You know what I'm saying? Like, I've been through a lot, bro. I've been through a lot, bro. And I had a lot of healing to do, bro, before I got to this point, bro, where I could come back on YouTube full time and just give y'all all of me, bro. As I tried to, bro. I can't just, you gotta understand, bro. I can tell y'all stories from my past, but they have to be triggered. I can't just give them to you just like that. Like, oh yeah, this time right here, because I'm dwelling on the past, and my past is gonna start hurting me again. I've done a lot of healing, bro, to get past my past. You know what I'm saying? But anyway, so that's all I just want to say, man. I'm gonna definitely do some more story times. But like I said, something has to trigger in order for me to talk about my story, talk about stories from my past. But yeah, I'm gonna leave it right there for right now. See y'all in the next video. Till then, peace out.